Hey friends, it's Andrea from the blog Pine and Prospect Home, and today I plan on giving you a tour of my home. It's dark and cozy, and so the twinkle lights are glowing especially bright today. And if you caught my tour last week, I did a full home tour of like the bottom level of my home. I didn't share my bedrooms, but I just did it strictly to music. So no narration, I didn't explain anything, I didn't talk about sources, I just did footage with music. So if that's your thing and that's what you prefer, I personally enjoy that type of tour sometimes. But then other times I do like to figure out, wait, how did she hang that? Or what did she have, like what garlands did she use there or whatever. So today's tour is going to be more like that, where I sort of explain like what I did and how I hung things. And so anyways, I hope that this is a help to you guys today. I hope it answers some questions. I'm gonna share what inspired me, and I just can't wait to get started. So before I do, I just wanna share quickly that today's tour is in collaboration with a few sweet friends of mine. Sarah from Grace in My Space, she's a fellow Michigan blogger. She has a YouTube channel, and I just love Sarah so much. She's so sweet. She's been such an encouragement to me. So you want to check out her tour today. My friend Cami from Tidbits Blog, everything she touches just turns to gold. No, I love Cami's style. She is so talented. I love the old-fashioned, old world feel of her home. And then my other friend Sarah from She Holds Dearly is sharing today as well. So I can't wait to see what she has planned. I got to visit Sarah's home in person, and she's so talented as well. So make sure you click that description and or the links in the description so you can check out what they are sharing today. I cannot wait to check out the inspiration that they have to share today. So why don't we get started? I'm gonna kind of just walk you through my living room. Again, it's sort of dark today, sort of cozy, but hopefully I can just kind of share some ideas with you guys. All right, let's go. All right, friends, this is a real life tour. The house is not perfect today. If I shift the camera slightly, you can see the baby gate is up. But I really wanted to combine eucalyptus with my cedar garlands this year, and that's what I did. So as we sort of pan over to the fireplace, you'll notice that I have this beautiful eucalyptus garland mixed with my cedar, and I just love the combination of it this year. So I'll talk about that eucalyptus in just a moment. I just wanted to share a few things here in my entry with you. This was marked at an antique shop last year as an antique snow shovel. I had a few people asking me if it was for pizzas, but that's what the booth owner marked it as. To me, it looks like a snow shovel. It's not flat like a pizza peel, but it's just so cool. I love the patina. I love the curve of it, and I just thought it would look really pretty hanging here in my entryway for Christmas. And so I did the same thing. I combined some cedar and eucalyptus, and I just absolutely love putting these little twinkle fairy lights wherever I can. I'll have them linked for you guys. They're super affordable, and they just add a little bit of magic everywhere you put them. I'm sorry if you can hear my boys upstairs. I love to hang ribbon wherever I can. It just adds a festive touch. This pretty little eucalyptus wreath is from a shop that's no longer open, but I know I have some similar ones linked on my blog. But I just love the way that this garland looks this year with the beams. It's so magical and so pretty. And then over on this wall is something real special. I have this beautiful cedar wreath that I got at Marshall's, and this beautiful vintage door hanger was my grandmother's. It's very old and kind of rusty, but I love the blues and the yellows and the angel. And it's so special to me. It makes me think of my grandmother, who is in heaven now, but I just love it. And so that is the entryway. So right after the entry, and you can really see how dark it is here today, I've got my living space. So the fireplace is right as you walk into the room. And again, I decided to combine this really pretty eucalyptus garland with two, so I doubled up 2 cedar garlands. There's 2 here, and they are a mixture of like Target garlands, and one is from Marshall's as well. So this year I decided to sort of, whoops, I gotta watch where I'm stepping here. This year I decided to sort of like curve it and then have it taper down. And then I hung the stockings behind it. So I think it looks really cozy this year. Sorry, we have our verse card that we're memorizing for the week out. But yeah, I love the way that that came together. Over on these shelves, I love using these throughout my decor. I'll show you a couple places where I use them. These are from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they have them this year, but it's like a shatterproof mercury glass bulb. So they're not real mercury glass, it's like a plastic, but they're so pretty, and I tucked real cedar wherever I could this year. They just add a really festive touch. And then down here on my shelves, I have a couple of different antiques, or vintage finds, I should say. These really pretty sleigh bells that I got with you guys. And then these old antique ice skates that I think look so pretty with some greenery tucked behind them. I also forgot to mention those ice skates, you guys. I got them for $2 at a thrift store, and they're really old and just so cool. Look out for ice skates. They're just so neat in your Christmas decorating. So I think that pretty much covers. Here's another pretty little arrangement that I put together on this table. It's just a mixture of eucalyptus and some real and faux cedar with those beautiful pine cones again. So I'm very curious if Hobby Lobby still has them. They're so pretty, and I just love using them in my Christmas decor. So my little diffuser is plugged in. I love diffusing oils this time of year, but usually I try to hide that for photos and video. So as you make your way over to this corner of our living room, you'll see our Christmas tree, and I really do love it here. I was so torn because, you know, bringing these chairs forward like this, it does make the living room a bit more cozy because, you know, the person sitting here is close to this person, and it doesn't feel like they're so far away off in this corner, if that makes sense. So it's cozy for our family, but I will say that when the whole family comes over, we might just shift it around a little bit and move the chairs back. But I do love this view, seeing both the sunroom tree and the living room tree. It's very dark today, and you can see most of the snow has melted, so that's kind of sad, but I'm sure we'll get more. For these 2 chairs, I did kind of squeeze them closer together so the round table didn't fit. So I stacked 2 benches here, which I think looks kind of cute, although my little 1-year-old, he keeps climbing the benches and giving mama heart attacks, so they might not stay there. Over on this wall above my little DIY sign, I just made my very own arrangement of like eucalyptus and cedar, and tied some velvet ribbon, stuck it in there, and I like that. And then probably one of my favorite features in our home is this beautiful like eucalyptus and cedar garland, and I just put fairy lights in it this year. I didn't want to weigh it down too much. I have it hanging with those like cup hooks. So I don't know if you could even see them. I have them hidden really well. There they are. My husband actually put anchors into the wall this year, but again, it's so beautiful, the combination. It's sort of dark today, but backing up here, I just love the way it looks, you guys. It's just one of my favorite features this year for Christmas. It has this really beautiful sort of old-fashioned feel, mixing the eucalyptus with the cedar. You can kind of see where I've shoved a little, this is what the fairy lights look like. So I kind of just shove the switch in there like that. But really this eucalyptus is so affordable. I grabbed it on Amazon and mixed, like twirled around your cedar. It's just absolutely stunning. So I have it all linked for you on my blog if you want to check it out. But I just love, love, love the way this archway looks with the pretty ribbon hanging there in the center. I wanted to share this wall with you quickly before I move into the dining room. This artwork was my grandparents. My mom let me hang it up this year. I thought about hanging some ribbon just off the top of it, maybe shoving some cedar in there. I'm probably still gonna play around and tweak my decor in these next few weeks. This is that set of vintage sleigh bells that I found at the thrift store for $6. I just sort of hung them there on this lantern. And then forgive me, the sunroom is not perfect. My son was practicing piano this morning, clearly. But you can see the shelves here. I'll give you a closer peek. There we go, that lighting is better, but I just hung some pretty blue ribbon on the horse, around the horse, and I stuck some cedar all around him. And then these are those instruments that I found thrifting, and I found them in the toy, like the kids section. So that's another idea for you guys. Check out like the toy section when you go thrifting at Christmas time. It's always fun to incorporate toys. I love the way items look gathered together. They make more of a statement. And so I kind of gathered these cracks together and stuck some candles that kind of went along with my colors this year, and I really think it's beautiful. I kept the sunroom tree really simple this year, and I just used those DIY hem garlands that I made years ago. They're so simple to make. I have the whole tutorial on my blog, and then of course I shoved in all of those vintage instruments that I found thrifting that I shared with you guys. You can see them sort of mixed into the tree with just some simple white bulbs that I got at Walmart, actually. They're just a really beautiful bulb with sort of a gold tip on them. So I stuck the tree in this cool crate this year, and part of the nativity scene is kind of falling apart here. My boys love coming in here and playing with that. That was also a thrift store find, and you can see it's not set up at the moment. Thankfully, we haven't lost baby Jesus yet, but I oftentimes see the kids walking around with him, so anyways, that's the sunroom. I did want to share a little close-up of my tree. I kept it very simple this year. You guys remember, of course, these fun antique candle holders. I ended up buying some candles on Amazon to fit them, which I would have loved to have found battery operated ones, and I could have like forced the battery style ones to fit inside of them and maybe glued them. I might do that next year. This beautiful velvet ribbon was a gift from a YouTube follower last year. She sent it to me and I used it in my decor this year. It's like a green brown and it looks so pretty with these pine cones. And then of course the wooden beads, and I sort of just like very free, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just sort of floated the ribbon all throughout the tree. It's casting kind of a pink, there we go. But I just very freely sort of strung ribbon throughout, and I really love the way it looks. A lot of these bulbs are vintage, so these came from a thrift store. They are older. I believe these though are from Walmart, so you can find those there. And then something fun that I did this year, oh my goodness, I just noticed this, probably my kids. These little banners that you see all throughout the tree, they say joy to the world and Merry Christmas. I made these. I just made them and printed them out. There's another one. You can kind of like bend them so that they look like ribbon. I might even make a few more and shove them into the tree, but I thought they turned out really pretty. If you guys are interested in getting the printable for these, I can totally make them available for you on my blog. Here, let me show you another angle. So you can see here how pretty they look. What I did was you can like double them up and tape them together. So again, let me know if you're interested in grabbing these. I can make them available on my blog. I love the way they look, sort of tucked into the tree. Here's another one here. And I don't know, I just think they're really pretty. So yeah, that's a little close-up of the Christmas tree. I didn't end up hanging a mirror. I wanted to so bad. And my husband, I don't know, maybe I can still convince him to hang one. I put these vintage skis back here, but the mirror didn't end up working out because of studs, and it was super heavy, and I just couldn't convince my husband to hang it. So maybe that'll still happen, we'll see. Okay, so moving on into the dining room. I hate the way that this tree looks on camera. It doesn't look like green like this in real life. I think the way that the camera picks up the LED lights, it just ends up looking that way. But yeah, I love the way my little dining room came together. Actually, I can tell my boys have been playing around with the trees because that's not how I that's not how I normally have them. All right, so I put some, and I'm being really quiet because it's nap time, but I put some real cedar here. I sprinkled some vintage ornaments throughout, some fairy lights. I used this vintage cake mold and an old ironstone bowl. And I think that it looks festive and pretty for Christmas time. On the mirror itself, I did sort of just a mixture of different ribbons, and I hung those little fairy lights, and I actually ended up making my own garland with these vintage ornaments. And I also made this Noel sign. I just traced some letters onto some cardstock, and I don't know, I feel like it has a real vintage feel to it, you know, something from an old Christmas movie, and I like the way it came together. You can see on my shelves here, I've tucked some old Santa molds, my grandma's chocolate Santa molds. This is the backside of one. I love incorporating cedar and some little Christmas trees, and this one as well. I did some cedar and some trees and pretty little molds. So here's another little cookie cutter. So I love this view, and I have this light kind of bright right now. I'm gonna turn that light down to kind of give you the cozy feel that it normally has in here. But this is actually a print that wasn't in my other tour. My mom gave me this as well. It was my grandparents. Here, let me turn the lights down a little bit, and I'll give you guys another view. I think this frame is reading a little bit too orange for my house, so I'm considering either painting it black or doing something with it, but it's another beautiful print for winter time, and I just love it. And then on this tree here, I have a mixture of ribbon, kind of along the same lines as this tree. In this corner, I have like the wooden beads and the white bulbs, and then these fun ornaments here were a thrift store find. Aren't these amazing? And I just tied them up with ribbon. I got the whole bag for like $2, and they're so cool. And this is a Walmart tree. I've had it for a couple of years, and it just looks pretty in this corner. And that is the carbon monoxide detector. Gotta plug that back in. Not sure how that happened. It's usually in this corner here, but we moved it over here, and I'm sure it got unplugged this morning when all the kids were running around plugging the lights in. That's their favorite thing to do this time of year. But I love this view. Again, sad that this is kind of reading green in this video, but let me back up and show you guys. So here's another view with the lights dimmed, and it's just one of my favorites. So pretty. Another thing that I did was add some greenery to the top of my lantern with some ribbon. Don't forget about your light fixtures. It's just a great way to add greens. And then I also added some greenery above the corner cabinet and in my dough bowl. So kept the table really simple. It's not even really styled right now. Actually, this in the tour was on my coffee table, but you know, my 1-year-old just kept pulling it off, so I stuck it here for now. I've got some ribbon that I need to use up, but This is just kind of a mixture of things. Just keeping my table simple. I love my table still. Oh, I can't forget this area here. So this is my cutting board wall. I love this little corner of our dining room, and I'll back up and give you a better view of it, but I just mixed, again, some eucalyptus, that same eucalyptus garland with some real cedar. I hung some ribbon and some fairy lights, and I just kept it real simple. And then in my vintage shopping cart here, I stuck some greens, and I love the way this white and brown paper looks sort of sticking out of it. I just think it has a really pretty feel. Let me back up and give you a look. So here's a view from this angle, and this is kind of looking into our kitchen, which I just tidied up for you guys because it was quite messy. But let me walk you in there and show you. I still have this beautiful table here that I found with you guys at the market. It is absolutely stunning, and I just kept it open and simple for the holidays. It'll be perfect for serving punch or whatever else. Just put a couple cracks under there, and I'm really loving, you'll have to excuse me, you guys, oh my goodness, I should stick that in the oven. I made a casserole, enchilada casserole for tonight. It's all ready to go in the oven. So yeah, this is definitely, and I've got some leftover hot cocoa there on the stove. Goodness gracious, I should have cleaned all of this up for you guys, but alas. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, there you go. For your viewing pleasure, I moved the casserole out of the shot. Still quite busy on the stovetop, but that's okay. I wanted to talk about this pretty garland here. I made my own dried orange slices. I added some eucalyptus and just some ribbon, and oh goodness, it's just one of my favorite parts of my Christmas kitchen as you enter in. This is a chalkboard that I made, and I don't know, I love the way the greenery looks with the copper, and it's just so festive. And anyways, last year I put greenery right here on our beam, but this year I wanted to add a little bit more, and I think it just looks really pretty. I'll probably do a Christmas countdown on our chalkboard. That's what we normally do. Sometimes we do a Christmas bucket list. My son made one, and he's been adding to it, which I think is precious. So he actually wants to tape it up. Anyways, I really struggle with my kitchen getting it on film because it's a very dark space. So in my last video, you can see with the lights off, it's almost just, it's so dark. So I need to depend on that false lighting to really brighten up the space so you guys can see it. But it really is one of my favorite rooms in our house. I spend so much time in this space. And just a few more Christmas touches. I sprinkled in some cedar here and there. There's a little vintage Santa on my spice, I have a bunch of these guys tucked in my pantry area, but my little spice cabinet here. And then I have a tree, just a Target tree that I scored a couple years ago, and I just put it in a little antique bowl. And then up here, this beautiful Santa print is one of my absolute favorites. It was also my grandparents. And I just love the way it looks up here with the cedar tucked behind it. It has the prettiest colors. And then on this far wall, I hung some greenery with some lights. I love to fill my basket on the top of my fridge with like brown paper packages tied up with string. This garland here on the far wall is from Hobby Lobby, but I strung some like eucalyptus throughout it and some lights, and I love the way it looks with my copper dishes hanging there. So that's one of my favorite features as you look into the kitchen at Christmas time. I wanted to close this door to show you this pretty wreath that I scored at a thrift store for $5. Look at this beautiful juniper in there and some, I think, eucalyptus or bay leaves, I'm not sure. Some pretty pine cones. I just put my own ribbon in there that I scored at Joann's last year I haven't been able to find it this year, but I kind of just tucked some ribbon in there, and I think it looks really pretty there on this door that leads out to our like basement and backyard. And then over on this side of the kitchen, we're almost done. I've got all of my baking ingredients, my kefir, my sourdough starter. I've actually got bread rising in the oven. Do you guys want to see it? It is brioche, sourdough brioche, and I have to clean my oven. Please don't judge me. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. My husband's gonna be so excited. It smells amazing. So anyways, back to the Christmas decor. So in this corner, I'm almost done. Is another one of those fun trees that I got at Target. I just hung some pretty little brass bells on here that I got at Marshall's. It was actually this funky like wind chime type thing, and I took it apart and stole the bells off of it. Maybe this bell is a little heavy for this branch. But these little Charlie Brown trees just have sort of an old-fashioned feel to me. I love the way it looks here in my little baking corner with my rolling pins. I have some of my grandmother's cookie cutters. We've already made gingerbread cookies, just sort of hanging out in here, and some extra orange slices that I think I might hang up in that garland up here. But I think that is about it for the kitchen. Oh, I guess right above the sink, it's so hard to tell with the light coming in behind it. Let me try from the other side. So this angle isn't much better, but you can kind of see it's just a swag that I made from faux and real cedar. So it's a mixture of both. And then I put some eucalyptus in there, some pine, and I think it's just really pretty sort of hanging above the kitchen sink. So if you don't have a wreath, consider that. Just kind of gathering some branches together and tying them up with a ribbon. It's just simple, beautiful decor. Again, I've got some little cedar tucked here on my little dish washing station. And then in this corner, again, it's not like styled or anything. I just kind of put out these little Santa mugs. They're familiar to my boys. We use them every year. I've got some kitchen string in here. I actually just scored these little candles at a thrift shop, and I haven't really figured out what I want to do with them yet. There we go. So I just kind of stuck them over here. But yeah, they're real cute. They have sort of a vintage vibe. I got them at Walmart actually, like 2 or 3 years ago, and we use them for hot cocoa every year. And so I just kind of set them out on the countertop. I don't know if I'll style them in my corner cupboard or what I'll do, but I think they look sort of cute just hanging out in the corner of the kitchen there. So yeah, that is my Christmas kitchen. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tour. I want to kind of hang out next to the tree again so I have a festive background. And I want to mention a few things to you that I just heard a friend of mine recently say, and I think it's such great advice. She was talking about how sometimes in the world we live in, there's this like high pressure to have to create something new every year, you know, go buy all new decor every year for Christmas. Everybody's sharing links constantly. And I just want to say that one thing that I loved about growing up, and my friend had mentioned this too, one thing that I loved about growing up is kind of the familiarity of some of the items that my mom pulled out year after year. As a kid, that's what made Christmas so special. She would give us the bin of decor that we could use for our room, and it was those same things every year, and that's what creates memories. And there's nothing wrong with buying new and creating new traditions, but sometimes the old stuff is even more special. So I hope that I'm never in any way, you know, that my tours never make you feel pressured to go buy new. If anything, I hope that I'm encouraging you to make your decor, and I'm encouraging you to thrift for your decor, and to get, you know, creative with your decor, but never to buy. A lot of what I have has been collected over years and years. Every year I buy 1 or 2 more garlands to add to my collection. And so anyways, I just wanted to encourage you with that, and kind of end on that note. Anyways, I hope you will head over, check out my friends' beautiful tours today. Sarah from Grace in My Space, Cami from Tidbits Blog, and Sarah from She Holds Dearly. They are all so talented. They inspire me so much, and all three of them are sweet, wonderful people that have encouraged me so much in my own blogging and YouTube journey. So I hope you guys will go head over there and watch their gorgeous tours. I can't wait to go watch their tours as well. But I think that my next video should hopefully be my Christmas bedroom. I can't wait. I'm still tweaking it, still messing with it. Haven't quite got it just right yet. So I want to share that with you guys next. And then, Lord willing, I plan on taking some time off, maybe a couple weeks off for the holidays, off of YouTube and blogging, just to soak it all in, spend this time with my family. But anyways, I hope this tour helped you guys out today. I hope it inspired you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.